After 12 years, Mike Savage's term as mayor is winding down. Voters will pick a new mayor later this month. I'm here at City Hall with Mike Savage. So I see you're packing up, getting ready to move on. How are you feeling?
I feel very good. I feel that it was the right decision for me, and I think it'll be a fine decision for the city as well.
Any highlight over these 12 years that really sticks out for you?
Well, there's a number of things that were big. For me, taking on major projects like the Cogswell interchange has been important. Halifax, which is our environment plan, climate action plan, which is really important, I think, for cities to undertake. Ours is one of the best in the country, if not in the world. The growth of the city has been remarkable. We've added, probably 100,000 people. We've become more diverse. We've become younger. Our average age has gone down. There aren't many that can say that. And then some of the initiatives with the First Nation community on reconciliation, with the African Nova Scotian community, with the Road to Economic Prosperity. There's a whole host of things, and it's hard to pick one out over the other. But overall, I just say I feel like the city's stronger, more vibrant than it was, and a lot of people played a role in that.
Well, you talk about the growth of the city. We're seeing thousands of people come into HRM every year. How can the city catch up with housing and other services that are needed?
Well, we can do it. I'd rather have the challenges of growth. In terms of housing writ large, there's hundreds of thousands of units that are ready to be built if the market is suitable and if we can keep interest rates down. You asked about highlights. Certainly one of the challenges has been the homelessness, and that's different. People have to understand housing is an issue writ large, but homelessness is an issue. I think every mayor in the country would tell you that that's one that just gnaws away at you. And I think there's some good things happening with the province and ourselves now working together on finding some solutions, but that's been a challenge.
Now, back in 2021, you came under fire for the way the city handled the evictions at the old Halifax Library not too far from here. Given hindsight, what would you have done differently? I
don't know what knowing what we knew, I think there's not a lot we could have done differently. But we know now there wasn't enough housing for people that needed that support. And the challenge was it also, to some extent, broke faith with community organizations that are out there dealing with the homeless. So, on the other hand, the recent report on the encampments that got some attention praised the city for what we've done to treat people with respect and to try to house people. So you could always look at things a little bit differently, but with the information we had at that point in time, I think councillors in particular looked at it and said, this is the time to do this for the betterment of the whole community.
But with the information you have now, would you have done it differently?
Well, if we had known that there wasn't a place for everybody to go, yes, we wouldn't have done that. We had looked at moving on breaking up those encampments a few months earlier, and I didn't think that there was enough information there to tell us that we were ready for that. We didn't. But it was in a transition between provincial governments as well, housing being a provincial responsibility. So there's probably things every day that I would do a little bit differently if I could.
Now, you've been a federal politician, a municipal leader. Any politics still left in your blood?
Well, I love politics, and I love public life. I love being mayor. To this day, I enjoy the job. But I think there comes a time when you have to say, for me, public life's changed. And, maybe I'm old school a little bit. I don't like this in-your-face style of politics. I think as a council, we've done really well to work together and avoid a lot of that. When I was elected, there was a lot of complaints from people saying that council couldn't work together. But we've worked together. And disagreement is as important as agreement if you do it correctly. And so I really appreciate the work that my colleagues have done in council.
Well, what is next for you then?
Well, I'm going to the Mooseheads game tonight. I'm dropping the puck tonight. I'm looking forward to that.
Anything longer term than that?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Thunderbirds coming back again. There's a lot of things on the go. For me, in deciding, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to do something else. There's a number of things that I'm looking at that I just have to decide among, and I'll do that, and people will know before too long, I'm sure.
Well, what is your advice for the next person to sit in that chair?
To have ambition. You've got whoever it is, you have councillors that you have to work with. They don't work for you as mayor. I never ever assumed that councillors worked for me. They didn't report to me. We worked together. And I think whoever the next mayor is, have ambition and use political capital to do big things. It's fine to We got, as a city, we have to fix potholes and we have to cut grass, but think of some bigger things. You know, back in 2014, 2 years after I became mayor, and Ray Ivany came out with his report on the future of this province. And when your future says blatantly, now or never, an urgent call to action, whether that's Ray Ivany or whether that's your family doctor, you better pay attention to that. And we've changed a lot as a city. We've grown, we've gotten better and stronger. We have challenges that come with that, and we can knock them down. And whoever the next mayor is, whoever she or he is, I'll be in their corner.
All right. Well, thanks for your time and best of luck with whatever you do next.
Thank you very much.